चलें बच्चे morning everyone, let's start with the lecture. Shall we start? You can give your feedbacks in the chat box if it is possible. Okay, fine. So we'll be discussing this artificial intelligence theory and lab practical sessions will be there. Regarding the schedule, they will be scheduled on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I hope you might have all seen the schedules on the Google Classroom. I have posted some information related to schedules and some basic information related to syllabus and some beginning lectures and this practical and theory syllabus. I have posted it on Google Classroom. So I hope every one of you guys might be able to see the content on the Google Classroom. If anyone is having any problem in that, you can let me know. Fine. So yeah, beta. Abhimanyu, it is there on the Google Classroom. So you can check it out. You can give your queries anytime. Fine. So the first uh, this is the first slide regarding this artificial intelligence. So in the mornings we will be having the theory lectures scheduled. That is from 9:30 to 10:30. We will be logging at 9:25 so that we can schedule it timely. And in the afternoons from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. we'll be having this lab sessions scheduled for AI on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So today we'll be having this. Right now we are having this theory session, and in the afternoon, 12:30 p.m. onwards, we'll be having this lab practical sessions scheduled. Fine. So let us begin with artificial intelligence. The subject code is BTCS 701 for the theory. So regarding this, the reference book that will be referencing is Peter Russell and Norvig book is there. I'm having this ebook and I'll be posting this by today. I'll post this in the Google Classroom and you'll be able to reference that book. I'll post this ebook. So it is quite a thorough book, and Russell and Norvig, they are quite, I mean, they have contributed so much to this field. Then this is some extra, this information is there, some AI magazines are there. So you can note down this link. It basically consists of the latest happenings related to the AI field. Then this IEEE intelligence system, this research papers is there. It basically deals with the research papers that have work contribution in the field of artificial intelligence. If any problems regarding the voice audibility or anything like that, please let me know. Fine, because we should not be having any kind of problems. Got it? So just a second. We'll be starting with the basic things. Let me configure out something. So let us begin with basics. We'll be first going through the basic applications of artificial intelligence in our daily lives, so that after going through the kind of uses that AI applications have in our daily lives, we can come to know what kind of fields the AI basically works with and how the applications basically work. You might have heard about virtual personal assistants. There are so many, like Cortana is there, Siri is there, and Google Assistant is there. So they can be basically termed as this intelligent apps, artificial intelligent apps that basically adhere to the different needs of the different users. Fine. So what basically they do is upon receiving your request, whatever voice request you do, you give, they record the frequencies and sound waves from your voice and translates them into some code. Fine. I'm not going into the details, just we'll be discussing today the first class. We'll be just going through the basics and just the introduction part is there. So these applications basically receive your request in the form of voice search, and they record these applications. They record the frequencies and sound waves from the voice, and they usually translate them into some kind of a code. Then they break down the code and identify the patterns into them. These then they basically try to identify different patterns which can be there, different phrases which can be there, different keywords which can be there. Then this data basically gets associated with an algorithm, and to the combination of these sentences, you basically they basically try to determine what kind of tasks these phrases are basically trying to do. Fine. Yes, Morris, what's wrong? Yeah, sure. If you are
It's
experiencing any problems, yeah,
it is
you
working
can
now, sir.
join again. Yeah, you can join
It is
again if
working
you're
now, sir. Yeah, it's working now. I refreshed the page and I can hear you now.
okay. Fine, good. So we are basically discussing the general uses of the AI applications. These personal assistants are there. Yes, class. Now, are you able to hear me? I lost my connection in between.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we were discussing the different applications. Now, this is another application that is driverless vehicle cars are there. So in this, they basically combine this sensors are there, and along with a combination of software, they basically try to navigate the vehicles. Now, in these vehicles, basically the different autonomous levels are defined. Autonomous level one is there. I mean, different range is there. For example, if the level is from 0 to 5, then 0 level will assume that all the major functions like braking and the viewing thing and accelerator thing, they will be done by the vehicle itself. And if autonomous level 5 is there, then it basically indicates that the major functions, whole functionality is basically performed by the vehicle itself. So we are basically just recently the different companies, they have gone ahead with conducting these experiments on the different vehicles, and I mean, they have been not successful in achieving the 100% results which were expected basically. Uh, so next is another application is there, that is purchase prediction is there. So what is there in this basically happens is the different companies are there, like Amazon is there, Walmart is there. So basically they do the predictive analysis, and they basically try to identify the products that the customer or the end user is basically going to purchase. So how basically they do that is they have your present data, they have the data regarding what you have in your cart, they have the data regarding the ratings that you have given, they have the data regarding the items or the previous things that you have searched for. So all these basically, along with some algorithms, they, they try to associate with those data, and they try to arrive at some conclusions. Now this customer support is there. You might have seen different chatbots are there, which basically increase the convenience of customer queries. Now all these chatbots basically they make use of this concept called NLP is there, that is natural language processing. Now the user basically tries to give in some queries, and those chatbots basically according to the logged in data, because basically these chatbots are trained, they have huge amounts of logged data by which they are basically trained. So based upon those things, they basically try to give the replies to the end user, and those replies basically enable the user conveniences according to which the user can make the choices basically. I have some few students which have joined from outside the domain. We will be allowing that for 1 or 2 days, and please try to join with your domain only. That is gga.ac.in. So that will be easy to capture capture the whole thing basically. Because when you are logging in with the gga.ac.in domain, your roll numbers are being captured. So that is so this is about the generator responses for the conveniences. Then you have this another application is there, that is security surveillance is there. Now what is there in this is you have the security cameras are there. These cameras basically use machine-based learning algorithms to monitor and analyze the images and the videos and the data which is recorded. Based upon those data, they basically try to analyze and they basically try to arrive at some conclusions. If they find anything unusual, then they can, respond to the people who are attending, who have deployed these security measures. So different algorithms come into the picture and different analytic procedures come into the picture when we are using this AI applications in our daily life. Then again, you have this music and movie recommendation services is there. The Spotify is there, and some other services are there. So again, based upon the user choices that they have made, based upon the user the buying options that users have done, based upon the previous searches that user have done, based upon all these things, that these applications try to recommend the apps or try to recommend what kind of the movies or music the user might need to have. So another one is this smart home devices are there. Guys, just wanted to ask, are you able to hear properly? Anyone having any problems? Yes, class. So this is next is your. I will be please stay in the group. I'll be taking the attendances manually. Once we will be completing the theoretical session, we'll be conducting this manual attendance thing manually. I'll be taking your attendances and I'll updating the same by today only. So next is your smart home devices are there. Now what these devices are basically doing is any device in your homes that uses electricity, they can be put on the home network and on your network basically. And then you can give the commands to these devices with the help of some remote controls or some tablets or some smartphone apps. So most of these applications basically relate to the lightning applications are there, then home security applications are there. Fine. So you have basically with you the remote controls that basically act as the transmitters, and you have with you as a appliances or devices which act as a receivers. And some of the networks that you might have heard, the networks which are used in this are ZigBee networks are there, or X10 networks are there. These networks are basically used to coordinate among the different devices that are in use. And from your the commands which you get from those commands, you can basically
Yeah.
operate these devices. Fine. I would like to request the students to please mute off. Please mute their mic. Yes. Again, in the military, we have this driverless vehicles are there, or the big vehicles that is trucks are there. They have some deployed sensors in front of their screens, and they can basically detect if any threats are there in the regions that they are moving. And sensing upon these threats, they can basically take the actions depending upon the data they are basically having. So what the advantage is there is the advantage in these circumstances is you basically avoid any human losses of lives which can happen in some enemy prone area. So that is the advantage that you are getting from these kind of applications. Now this is another domain is there, that is in our domain also we can find the applications of AI field is there. Now this is you might be seeing in the figure there is a robotic arm is there. Now behind this robotic arm there is a program written basically called as an Aaron program is there. Now this program basically helps this robotic arm to draw the original artistic images which are as original as they are meant to be. So this is again a different field, that is arts field, in which we can find the use of AI applications. Now this program was basically initially it was written in C++, then it got evolved into the Lisp and Lisp, using Lisp and Prolog. Again, those are AI languages. Fine. So these are few of the applications that we are discussing. Many applications are there in many different sectors, in many different fields, which have evolved these days. And I mean, numerous. You can say the numerous applications are there, and numerous uses are there. You might have seen this Google Map is there. The Google Map basically helps us to give the information regarding the different traffic data that can be there. Based on that traffic data, we can basically make our the routing decisions we can make. So that is another AI uses there. So coming on to this was the basic outline regarding the applications that AI has. So coming on to the theoretical things, we'll be discussing what is AI. The brief history is there, how the AI basically evolved from the different fields, and the state of the art, what AI has been able to achieve till now. Fine. So these things we'll be discussing today. And guys, again, I would like to say, please don't leave the meeting. I'll be around 10:25. I'll be taking the attendance manually. Please don't leave. Fine. You guys have come in for the class. You guys have been giving your this. You have been focusing on this. So please be there. I'll be taking the attendance in just a while. So what is AI? A brief history, the state of the art. Now I would like to discuss with you guys. If any one of you, you can turn your mics off and let me know any idea regarding what is AI, how you define AI. Mean, I know many of you guys have been doing projects also. Many of
Sir,
intelligent people have
systems
been
which like humans,
okay. Fine, good.
uh, means it can operate all the operations like humans, understand and everything.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. Fine. Any other thoughts? Any other ideas? Yes.
Sir, it is basically the simulation of a human brain
Mm-hmm.
that we program into a computer, and then the computer learns from humans and simulates a human body or a human brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Very good. Any other ideas? Okay. So, based upon, yes, you guys are very much right. Basically, AI is, it is basically about the mimicking the human behavior and how you incorporate that human behavior into the machines. Artificial intelligence. Now, what it basically implies, you try to embed the intelligence into the artificial devices. That is what the artificial intelligence is. So what is intelligence? The next question, next this thought comes is what is intelligence? How you, how you term something as an intelligent? What are the characteristics that define something to be an intelligent? Any ideas? Guys, this
Sir,
is Kunal Jha is there. Is it in seventh semester?
yes, sir. So the ability to think, the ability to make decisions, and
Uh,
critical thinking, I guess.
mhm. Cognitive, yeah, yeah, that is there. Yes, these are the some of the characteristics by which you can say that if any entity possesses these characteristics, then we can term that entity as a intelligent thing. This again, this Mantu Sani is there. Is this in 7th?
Yes, sir, he is in our class.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys have been right. I mean, so basically, humans, you can say that humans have been the most intelligent beings that are there. Now, in basic terms, how we can define artificial intelligence. Now, AI is basically creating systems that can function intelligently and independently. Fine. Now, if we talk of humans, they can speak and listen. Fine. That is, they can recognize. I mean, we are communicating among each other. Fine. I am able to recognize your speech, and in response to that, I'm saying something. Now, in AI, what is the concept is speech recognition is there. Same concept when we talk in AI, it is the speech recognition. Now, again, we are trying to mimic that human capability into the machines. Now, again, this is the first thing. Fine, we are just discussing the general scenario when we are talking of humans and AI has a parallel context. When we are talking of AI as in a human being context. The second thing, what in humans is there? They can read and write some text in some language. Fine, is it there? You agree, na? The humans they can read or write some text in language. Now, yeah. When we come to the AI, this is what? This is NLP, that is the natural language processing. Now, again, the third thing is in humans we can see with our eyes. We can recognize images through our eyes. Now, when it comes to the AI,
That's
we can
machine
we
learning.
can we can say that it is a image processing. It is not directly related to the AI, but somehow it becomes the broader part of this computer science branch. Now, again, the next part is we can say that humans they understand their environment and accordingly they you can say that they can monitor their movements. They can walking from one room to the another room according to the environment they are capturing according to the if for example if I am saying that okay the P310 is logged, so I'll be moving to the lab. If the lab is open, I'll be going to lab number one and so on. And when we talk of this in AI, this is what this is the robotics part is there. In robotics, you have this agents which basically sense the environment, whatever percepts the agents they receive according to those percepts the agents are basically trying taking out their decisions where they are moving their robotic parts, then accordingly they are performing the function. So we are just analogy is there between AI and when it comes to the mimicking the human behavior. Now humans, you know that humans they can identify some patterns. You are given some box, for example, you are given some box, and in those box you are given some different shapes are there, circles are there, or triangles are there. So humans they can identify the different patterns which are there in that box. And when it comes to AI, that in context of AI, we call that as a pattern recognition. Fine. What happens in this pattern recognition? That is what we do in machine learning algorithms. We do all this classification things based upon the different patterns we observe. So the next is very important. That is when we come to the human brains, how the our neurons basically work, how they take decisions, what is the speed at which they are basically receiving the information, at how fast we are able to take the decisions. So that is what about, all about the human brains. That is the neurons, how the neurons are basically helping the humans to make the decision. And when we talk of this in AI context, this becomes the what it becomes neural networks. And when these neural networks become more complex, this is what the deep
Sir, the neural schema?
sorry. Yes.
The neural schema of
Yeah, yes, that's it. That is what the neural networks, when we talk of the mimicking the brain part in AI, that becomes the neural network. And when the neural networks are dealing with more complex problems, that is what the deep learning is. That is the multi-neural networks are there. Then, so this is, I mean, this was some kind of analogy when it comes to mimicking the human behavior uh, to the AI applications. Fine. Any doubts in this, beta? Till now, what we have discussed, any doubts on this, you can please, you can ask me, you can type in your queries, anything, you can just ask me. Yes, good to go. So this is our syllabi, which we will be covering the topics in our artificial intelligence. These chapters are basically given with reference to the Russell and Norvig book that I have told in the beginning. I will be giving the e-book by today only. So these numbering is with reference to that book. That is Russell and Norvig book is there. The first topic is regarding the introduction and agents is there. Uh, Agents are basically intelligent programs where they are referring to how we can build the intelligent programs. Then the next is your search is there. Now different methods are there in AI by which we can basically solve the problems. So those search is one of those methods by which we can, we can deal with the problems that are there in the field of artificial intelligence. And this search, we will be discussing different algorithms are there, which we'll be discussing. Then the third part is there, logic is there. Now, I'm just giving the brief thing about the contents, what these contents are basically referring to. The logic here is basically when the machine needs to, whatever the intelligent machine that we are trying to build, we basically want that machine to, to arrive at some intelligent decisions. Now, in order to arrive at some decisions, the core part is it should be able to interpret some kind of a data, some kind of a knowledge. The machine should be able to represent some kind of a data. The machine should be able to represent some kind of a knowledge. Now, all this knowledge, it can be represented by using the different forms of logic is there. So we'll be going through the different types of logics by which you can represent the knowledge in the machines basically. Then the next is planning is there. The planning basically it refers it refers to the coming out with different strategies in order to arrive at the solutions. Now the search was one method. Search algorithms is the one method by which we can deal with the problems. Planning is another method which helps us to deal problems which are there in some different scenarios. Fine. So this is another strategy you can say. The planning, another strategy by which you can arrive at the solutions. The next is uncertainty is there. Now this basically deals with the scenarios where we are not certain about our environment. Means to say that we are not aware about the information that we are going to encounter in our environment. We are not certain about we can say the knowledge which the machine is going to be fed with. That is uncertainty scenario is there. How to deal with those uncertain scenarios. That we'll be discussing thoroughly in uncertainty. Then learning is there, how the machines can evolve basically from the present data, how they can evolve themselves more in order to uh, arrive at some wise decisions that can help in increasing the efficiency of you can say the decision making or the efficiency in achieving the goals basically. Then NLP is there. The last one is there. How will be interpreting the, the speech scenarios or the written texts and analyzing them or exploring them for the more useful results basically. So this will be dealing with all these topics in our sessions. Uh, the first we'll be doing with introduction and agents. Now this is what is AI. Now this is the introduction part. Now in this the different definitions are there. AI has been evolved. There have been many important figures or many important you can say personalities which have contributed a lot to this field of AI. John McCarthy is one of the great personalities which which has given so much to this field of AI. Now, according to him, now this is one definition. I think I have not mentioned the other definition. There are other definitions also. So this is what you people have been saying also, that it is the science and engineering of making intelligent machines, especially the intelligent computer programs. So machines obviously will come into the context when we are seeing artificial and intelligent computer programs is when we are trying to embed the intelligence into these machines basically. Now this intelligence, as you people were saying, that it can be the capability of cognitive thinking. It can be the capability to recognize NLP. It can be the capability to learning evolve its learning process, that it tries to it gradually learns from its own whatever the data it has. Then what else the intelligence basically means, it basically it can be said that intelligence is a capability to when it comes to the images, to recognize those images. That can be again one of the characteristics of being intelligent. Then again the mimicking this brain behavior into the machines, how they are taking that is the neural, we are trying to implement the neural networks into the machine. So all these and some other capabilities there, if those capabilities are there in some machine, then we can say that the machine is an intelligent device. And it is AI is a broad field of this computer science engineering domain. And under this domain, you have this again sub fields are there. You have symbolic logics are there. Then you have this machine learning subfields are there. I mean, broadly you can categorize AI into this, working upon this symbolics and the AI, and another part is working upon this data, that is big data. So further, so many categories are there. This computer vision is there, image processing is there, news networks are there, CNN is there, that is convolution neural networks are there, ANNs are there. I mean, so many different subfields are there. The AI is a broader, we can say, field, and the machine learning, and you might be hearing all these terms these days: AI, machine learning, deep learning, data science. So machine learning and deep learning, these are the subsets of, you can say, machine learning is subset of AI, and then deep learning is again further subset of machine learning. And the data science is basically combining all these approaches and then combining some statistical methods in order to arrive at some conclusions. So that is a different thing to discuss. So different definitions are there. I'll be incorporating some more definitions also, which are given by. Basically, what was happening when AI was evolving was there was one set of people who were basically focusing on this cognitive part. How cognitive part is that is the more of it is related to the thinking part of the humans, or you can say how the humans can feel, how the humans can think, how the humans perceive the environment. So one group of people, they were basically focusing on this, that how these things can be brought into the AI field. That is the cognitive part, intelligence is there, intelligence thinking is there. How they can bring these aspects into the AI. And another group of people were there who were basically focusing on building some intelligent programs or devices or machines. So according to these two different categories, the different definitions were given in the different contexts. Now these, now this, what you are seeing on the screen is views of AI fall into the four categories. Now these four categories basically because of the different the personalities they were thinking in their own contexts basically. As we are as like we are saying that mimicking the human behavior. Now these personalities they were focused on some other aspects also. So that's why we have this AI categorized into the four different categories. That is, thinking humanly part is there. How I mean, they were trying to perceive. They were trying to uh, 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 what you can say, foresee the AI in terms of how humans think. That is the first part. This thing. But this is thinking rationally. This was the category in which the AI was being focused upon thinking right basically. Rationally is doing something right. You are given some objective. You try to achieve that objective with whatever right things you can do. Fine. So that is another approach is there how you can define the AI. And acting humanly. Now this is another part is there. It comes to doing actions. You might be observing the difference. Now this is in terms of thinking. How the humans think. This is what is right. AI has to be done according to that. But now here in this, the word acting is coming into the picture. That is doing actions. Fine. More you can say that people have been progressive, got more progressive in defining AI. Now these here in this we are defining AI in terms of doing some actions. Here in this acting rationally is doing something which is right. Again, whatever universal we can say laws are there, according to those what is universally accepted, according to that how you can define AI basically. So these four categories are there. That is thinking humanly, thinking rationally, acting humanly, and acting rationally. So what is AI? Again, now this was what I'm saying. The different definitions are there, which are given by the different personalities. Uh, Still, the students are coming. I would like to say here, please, guys, please try to join. My screen is not visible. Uh, just a second. Yeah, is it visible now? Okay. Just a second. Let me check, beta. Let me check. Uh, Now is it visible? Is it visible now? Okay. Mm, might be from my side. I have enabled the PPT on sharing. It is doing that. Maybe some issue might be there. It's okay. We will continue in the afternoon session. Just guys, be there. I am just noting down the roll numbers. I have noted down in the morning, and just be there. I'm just noting down the roll numbers. Just be there. There might be some issue with the PowerPoint. Okay, I'll try to check that. In the afternoon, the timings will be 12:25 till 1:30. We'll be having this practical lab session. So we'll try to see the practicals which are there in the syllabus, and we'll try to conduct one of those experiments in the syllabus. I'll be discussing the experiments also with all of you guys. Okay, I think I have just a second. Okay, I think I have noted down, but I have taken the attendance, and Maurice, I think this time is 10:30. We might be having the next session scheduled. No worries. We'll try to again do it in the next session. The next session is scheduled at 12:30 p.m. today only. Mondays we'll be having theory and practical sessions on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Mondays, it will be scheduled on 9:30. The theory sessions 9:25 a.m. and the practical sessions they will be scheduled at 12:25 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Fine, guys. Good to have all of you here. It was good, really good to have the session, and I would like to see all of you coming, joining that gj.ac.in. I have allowed some few students from outside the domain. Maybe one or more days I'll be allowing. And after that, please log in uh, with your this gj.ac.in. Fine, guys. Any queries, any doubts? Please, you can let me know. You can give in your queries in the chat box. Anything. Thank you, class. Thank you. No need to write down the roll numbers, beta. I'm having the roll numbers. That is what the your GGIAC.in accounts, the roll numbers are associated with your login information. Thank you. So you guys, I would like to request you can leave the meeting so that the next meeting you can schedule. I'll try to check what was the issue with the presentation in the end. I'll try to check that. Uh, I'll rectify that. Nothing like that. Fine. Mm, okay, I'm gonna end the meeting. Thank you.